Hello everyone, my name is FlareBlitzed and welcome back to Missing Time, part 9 of this Let's Play. Today, as you probably tell by the title, we're going to be revisiting Chiharu's route, and the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to find out if there's been any changes to Chiharu's route at all when it comes to the dialogue that will bring light to her story, and also the fact I have yet in this full Let's Play to cover Chiharu's route. So I'll be giving it a bit of a bash, and then afterwards, from this recording, I'm going to be completely dismantling this game in any kind of light to try and get to Shizuyo's good ending route. Like, that's been a plague of mine ever since getting into this game and seeing Shizuyo's bad ending and Ember's bad ending and thinking, what the hell could it be? What the hell could it be for me to be able to try and get to this place? But have not been able to get there at all, and I am running out of patience. But for now, let's go to a more sober side of the story, which is Chiharu's. It's only going to be with Chiharu we're going to cover through this, just to see what happens with between just Chiharu and the protagonist of the game. And this is our first port of call, near at the very beginning of the game. Oh my gosh, Flare, is that really you? Not paying attention, I almost knocked to the ground by a blow of bubbly laughter. Who could it be? Oh, it's Chiharu! Ow! Oh, sorry, are you okay? I blink away the surprise and immediately gasp. Chiharu, is that you? Who else? Oh my gosh, I can't believe this. It's been so long. Standing before me is my childhood friend, Chiharu Ishihara. Growing up, I was a pretty antisocial kid. Chiharu was one of the few I managed to get close to and had a decent, if not great, relationship with. Friendship. It's been years since I've last seen her. With again, relationships can be non-love based, if you can see it like that. But I can see while she has grown taller, she hasn't lost that blinding smile and energetic attitude. Ah, I totally didn't expect to see you here. This is amazing, isn't it? Wow, this is so awesome. I saw you at the Common Assembly, but didn't have much time to catch up. It's a good thing you came and find me then. I didn't pay much attention to the headmaster's yabbering. Ah, typical Flare. How dare you? When did you move back? Just a few days ago, actually. Hadn't even finished unpacking yet. This is so cool. I just came back to town too. Really? From where? Well, my parents sent me off to a boarding school a few years after you moved away. They thought I should at least experience senior year at home though, so they sent me back here. Oh wow, did you just come back then? Yeah, just a couple of weeks ago. It's really nice to see a familiar face. Agreed. And here I thought be having a hard time making new friends. We are still friends, right? Of course, silly. How about this? Since it's mandatory, let's go join a club together. I'd rather not join any club at all, but I guess it'd be more bearable with you. Aww, you're still as embarrassing as ever. Aww, very, very, very embarrassing. Which club would you like to join? I haven't had a look into it actually. Was trying to find my pamphlet when I bumped into you. I haven't decided myself yet either. How about this? If a student doesn't pick a club, they will be randomly placed into one. We can always sign up to be put into a random club together. That sounds like a pretty neat idea. Not sure what kind of club will be randomly selected into. Wink wink. Sure, what's the worst that can happen, right? Ah, your little faith. Let's go. The student counsellor we went to see gives us weary looks when we enter the teacher's office. You two are the new transfer students? Yep. We haven't been able to decide on our club activity. We was wondering if you could put us in one together. Not saying anything, he gives us one overs as if to size us up before turning to his monitor. There are available spots at the occult club. Grumpy, because I don't really enjoy this person's attitude the slightest. I take the pamphlet he is offering to us. I wrinkle my nose at cheesy occult symbols like the pentagram and crescent moon. It looks more like a witchcraft club pamphlet than an occult club one. Be careful what you say. There may be somebody who is watching over us. discover the shrouded mysteries and chilling secrets hidden around you. The world is never as it seems. Explore for possibilities with a partner of the same mindset. Keep your mind open, your heart at peace, your body safe. That's a terrible intro. Right. While I'm all up for trying, it's a bit too much. I still need some time to readjust to the town, and getting into something as absurd as this probably isn't going to help me. Plus, I feel like the council's given us a crappy club on purpose. Can I have some time to think? I just moved here, so I think I'll have to look around first, you know, try and get myself settled. Whatever. Deadline for submitting your final club application is the last weekday of this month. Excuse me? What did you... Flare... Let's try this one out, yeah? Maybe we'll end up liking it. This is going to turn into an extreme, catastrophic set of events here, Chiharu. Extremely catastrophic. I have half a mind to argue and cause a scene, but looking at Chiharu staring at me with expectant and pleading eyes, I find myself deflate. Alright, let's give this a whirl. Then it's settled. We will both join the club. You're not giving me a choice here, aren't you, Chiharu? I concede yet again and let Chiharu lead me away. That guy was really getting on my nerves. Wasn't he just? He was a bit rude, but I guess he was just trying to do his job, right? I can only imagine the number of times that he would have to do an intro or something like that. I guess, speaking of which, they really don't want to wait with this whole club thing, huh? It is the first assembly after all. I mean, you're supposed to meet and introduce yourself to new friends, right? Maybe. Come on now, stop being such a sourpuss. I mean, if you really don't like this club, we can just change later, right? There's no rules saying we can't. That's true. So where are we supposed to be then? It says here it's at room 12K. Ah, isn't that like really far away? Huh? Well, the 12 rooms are all on the top floor, and K is like almost the last room on the west wing. Let's tease a little. You're gonna run out of breath, Chiharu. I'll have you know I've been exercising. Really? You hated PE when we were kids. You're the one to talk. You tried to sneak out with me a couple of times, remember? Sneak. Hey, but I stuck it out mostly. You always whined about it. I did not. Did too. Flare. Come on, stop being such a tease. Reverting back to our childish banter, we breezed through all the hallways, heedless of the attention we inadvertently draw to ourselves. To be honest, I don't really care if people give us funny looks, because we have each other. I'm just happy and relieved that my relationship with Chiharu hasn't changed at all these years apart, despite the obvious bumps we've had today. I'm glad that we are still friends. Hey. Finally, we managed to reach the designated classroom. Outside, there was a slightly flustered girl, pacing listlessly. I exchange a glance with Chiharu. She checks her tongue and, before I know it, she drags me over by my wrist. Hey there. Are you doing alright? That's so typical of Chiharu. While one part of me is glad that this side of hers hasn't changed, the other part groans internally. The one saving grace would be the other girl lighting up like a Christmas tree, showing us a huge grin that's all teeth. Wait, how do we know that your name is Ember? Hey, I'm just waiting for the new members for my club. Wow, that must be you two, right? Since there isn't any other club on this floor. I'm Ember Honiyashi, president and only member of the Occult Research Club now, I guess. So welcome, new blood. Wait, that came out wrong. Exactly. That is definitely a foreshadowing of the future, isn't it, Ember? Wait a minute, I've never seen you two before. You two are the new transfer senior students, right? Yeah, I'm Chiharu and this is Flare. Perfect. My head spins with how quick and loud Ember is, with a tall stature and... But how do we know her name is Ember? That's the question. With a tall stature and big mouth, plus such an odd name for a club, club. More people definitely would be steering the other way. No wonder she's been the only member so far. Except now that we have dragged ourselves here. Chiharu doesn't seem all bothered though. Whew, I'm glad we made it to the right place then. Are we waiting for anyone else? I don't know. Nobody signed up with me, so I don't know if the office is sending us anyone else, sorry. They're just doing it on purpose, trying to shut the club by not giving us enough members. Huh? What is this all about? Let us ask. What do you mean? Why would the school not give you enough members on purpose? They don't enjoy the club's contents, not appropriate enough for the school environment, but they didn't have enough reasons to shut us down without causing a ruckus. I'm sure it's just a misunderstanding. Maybe other people are just late? Unlikely. Every other club is already way into their first meeting. You two are only late because you're new, you know. Oh. Sorry. Well, there's no need to worry so much about it now. We have until Friday as a deadline, right? I can't take any chances. Ugh, this won't do. Sorry, you two. We're gonna have to postpone the meeting until we get enough people to join. It's okay. Anything we can help with? Oh! You can go look for some new members. I don't know, you guys are new, so, you know. It's okay. We'll try our best anyway. Really? You'd do that? Of course. We're club mates now, aren't we? Hell yeah. Aww. She lights up like a candle. I groan as the two girls buzz away. Oh man, what have I gotten myself into? As per Ember's instructions, or lack therefore, Chiharu and I find ourselves walking around the school grounds trying to find anyone who would be willing to give the occult club a shot. Raising my eyebrows at a handful of pamphlets Ember gave us, I can't help but wonder who came up with such a terrible design. We're not going to be pointing fingers at Ember, but I think that might be the case. We're going to skip ahead and see where we go next with Chiharu's route, because we found ourselves too involved in another person's kind of formality at the moment. Sorry Ember, we're going to have to decline your offer. Chiharu Poke has already offered us a lunch. Just as I suspected, Chiharu prepared all that food for both of us. We decided to sit outside for lunch. Since it's a beautiful day today, as we settle down, Chiharu slides over a 3-tier bento box. There is a variety of food inside, including a vibrant crayfish salad, katsuri sushi, handmade gyoza, and some sort of cold soba with a side of braised pork. There are even some strawberry dafuku and fresh fruits in their last tier. Wow, this is a lot. Did you make all of this? She made some watermelons. She pulls out her own box, a bit smaller than mine with a more moderate proportion. Amused, I nudged Chiharu. You're going to turn me into a pig like this? We all deserve a feast sometimes. Whoa, this is delicious, Chiharu. You really have improved. Ha! And what do you mean, have improved? Well, I mean, way back then, you used to do all kinds of crazy experiments. Remember that time when you decided to make a chocolate-coated sausages? Yuck. Hey! I'll have you know I'm a lot better since we were kids. You are. These gyoza are the bomb. Thanks. I wanted to fry them, but they would have become chewy sitting there for morning. You know, you made a great wife one day. Ah, stop it, Flare. That's so embarrassing. Flare, don't you know it's rude to say those things to a girl? Laughing at antics, I resume eating. Chiharu brings sunshine to everyone around her. She does. A big, radiating, fiery sunshine. And still acts like a child in many ways. I'm glad to see that that side of her hasn't changed. So what have you been up to after I moved away? How was the boarding school and all that stuff? You know how my parents were always away on business trips? Yeah? Well, They decided it would be better for me to experience the world and not be stuck in this little town. Lucky you. That's awesome though. I've always wanted to travel abroad. You still haven't gotten to travel all that time? Around the country for vacation, yeah, but nothing overseas like that. They've always been too busy with work to travel anywhere else. So these parents have some similarities, or their parents have similarities. What? That sucks. How about this? How about after we finish school, let's promise to go on a vacation somewhere? On our own? Yeah. Ooh, someone is bold. Aww. Don't ruin the moment, dummy. Aww. Sorry. You can say the worst things. Just my natural charms, I guess. Dummy. I laugh as she smacks my arm. It's so easy to lapse back to our childish banter. It's reassuring to know that I can always find peace around Chiharu, no matter what age. I wonder if the town has changed at all since we left. I haven't had a chance to explore yet. I've been mostly unpacking stuff and settling down since I moved back. Oh, did your parents move back with you? No. Oh my gosh. Why the eyes? Why the eyes, Chiharu? They have a lot of things to take care of, so maybe Mama will come here with me in a couple of months. Ah, so she's been alone all this time then. We should probably go explore one of these weekends. Oh, are you sure? Yeah, why not? I don't have a lot to unpack. Plus, I don't want to be holed up inside during the weekends either. And it feels strange to be here without my grandpa's reassuring presence. But I don't feel like dragging the mood back down. Thankfully, Chiharu seems to be taking really well to the suggestion. Alright. I'm on my way anyway. On my own anyway, so just give me a call when you're free, okay? Deal. Yay! Maybe you can come bake me stuff. Help me bake stuff too. Oh, you're really getting into cooking, huh? Yeah. Like I said, I've been practicing a lot since we were kids. Oh, I don't doubt you. This lunch is like magnifique. Thanks. But I will get free cakes, right? Of course, silly. If you want to, I can bring you food for lunch every other day too. Oh man, are you sure? I mean, I'd love to. Neither me nor my parents are greatest cooks. I'll have you know my mum is a wonderful cook. But I don't want to be a bother. Not a chance. I usually cook too much for just one person anyway. You use a lot of resources. I'm not that good with portion counting yet, so I always have leftovers. There's always tomorrow. That explains the huge meal she gave me. Even a famished me would have trouble finishing it all. Though I honestly think making lunch for both of us like this would help Chiharu more than me. Makes her less lonely and all. Alright. I'll be in your care then. No problem. Flare? What's up? Oh, thank you. For what? For spending time with me. I mean, it's been a while, you know, so asking you to lunch might have been too abrupt. I don't know. Ah, she really thought I would turn down hanging out with her. Well, thank you for taking the time to prepare us such a spread. And why wouldn't I want to hang out with you? You're like the best friend I've ever had. There you go again. So embarrassing. And you're still so easily flustered. Don't be a bully. Please, MC. Don't be a bully. Don't be a bully to poor old Chiharu. It feels really nice to be around someone I've known most of my childhood like this. I tell myself to treasure my friendship with Chiharu, knowing that having her here would help me adjust to all the changes. Let's knock this out of the park, Chiharu. Think we can handle this, Chiharu? Of course. How about you, girls? I'll stick with you, Ember. Gotta get on my new club president's good side, eh? Uh-huh. Don't expect me to go easy on you just because of your flattery. Emery, you'll be fine on your own then. I prefer it that way. Gosh damn it, Emery. Your first impressions are never grand. Then it's settled. I don't think we'll be able to do much for the rest of the week. So how about we meet up again next Monday? Same time, same place? Sounds good. Alright. I'll give you guys my phone number. If there's any questions, just text me. Likewise. Chiharu and I walk home together after the meeting. She seems relieved. You okay? I'm okay. To be honest, I didn't really expect the club's theme to be so creepy. Really? It says right on the title, Occult Research. Come on, Chiharu. Yeah, but I was expecting something like read into some weird stories or something. Not actual cases. This is going to give me nightmares. What? It's too real for you? Oh no, this must be a terrible sign. You and I both joined. It's going to be like those horror movies. The scary chases might come to life and haunt us both. Look, protagonist, you're not doing yourself any favours here. We've just reacquainted ourselves with our childhood friend and you're scaring her like this. Flare, don't say things like that. I laugh, but Chiharu seems genuinely scared. Feeling bad now, I pat her back. It's okay, Chiharu. I was just kidding. No, I mean, what if something bad really happens? Oh gosh, I'm living alone right now. What would I do if something bad happened? Okay, how about this? How about we give each other spare keys, just in case something happens? I seriously doubt anything would, but it seems to calm Chiharu down some. Okay, I'll give you a spare key. Sometime this week or something? So if you've been following on this game from part 1 to now, then wouldn't it make sense if... Actually, you know what, never mind. I was just thinking maybe it would have been better if, from Ember's good ending, if our character were to just go to Chiharu's house initially. But then again, it was stated that it could be a possibility that Chiharu was taken away by Shizuyo before Shizuyo got to the storage room's door. Okay, I'll give you a spare key sometime this week or something. The rest of the journey home is quiet. Even though I try to cheer her up, Chiharu seems really out of it. Typical Chiharu. She assures me it has nothing to do with my jokes. Though I start to wonder if joining this club is such a good idea after all. Between school and unpacking, the weekend just pounces on me. I contemplated sleeping in, but knew Chiharu would be upset if I didn't show up. So there I am, 8 AM sharp, standing in shocked silence before her family's mansion. After all this time, I have completely forgotten how big this place was. Probably also because way back then, Chiharu came to our place more often than me coming over. Her parents were often away, so they usually had my grandpa babysit Chiharu alongside me. The house, if you could call it that, is massive and absolutely luxurious, but it was always empty. I don't know, or rather not remember all the details, but I'm pretty sure Chiharu's parents didn't want her to be watched over by strangers. Servants, or so to speak. Looking at the giant property in front of me, I can't help but think how lonely a life Chiharu must have had. Shaking my head, I ring the bell where Chiharu's voice buzzes out after the first ring. Oh hey Flare, come in. Have you had breakfast yet? At least someone is happy, though I can't be grumpy at food either. Relocated to her impeccably groomed garden at the back. We chat about school, work over the delicious quiche Chiharu made. Since we both don't know where to start, the internet is the first place we go to. Peering into Chiharu's laptop, I wrinkle my nose. Yeah, there isn't anything about those instances on the first couple of pages. They definitely didn't get a lot of coverage, not nearly enough. 13 students and 2 teachers went missing last year. Only 6 bodies were found while the rest are presumed dead or still missing. More likely completely devoured. 5 students and the teachers were from the same school as us, and the rest were from middle school with an exception of someone from a nearby college. A lot of these deaths were ruled as suicides or accidents, none of them homicide. It's definitely strange, but I don't think there's a supernatural cause to it. Oh, you are so wrong, Flare. You are so wrong. I'm talking about the Flare in the game, by the way, not me. That me right there has got nothing to do with me at all. It doesn't help that most of these deaths happen towards the end of the school, the most stressful time for a student. Unfortunately, in some communities, the suicide subject is a sensitive and shameful one. Sensitive, yes. Shameful? Depends how you spin it. To a town this small, they probably would rather ignore everything than make a scene about such a taboo. Still, it's a horrible thing to happen. I have to agree, this definitely puts a damper on our stay here. Who knew this place had such a gloomy history, especially one so recent? Shaking my head, I print the list of victims' names. At least this would show we did some research on the subject. You're making it sound like homework now. What else do we have? Says here a memorial service for the found victims were held at the local shrine. So Shizuyo and Emery would probably know something about this. More likely Emery. Yeah, indeed. Emery isn't the type to talk, and Shizuyo doesn't seem like she cares too much about traditions. Maybe they would be inclined to share some insight at the next meeting. Okay, so both the teachers and a college student moved here just before the incidences. Says here the student transferred for a scholarship while both the teachers moved here 2 and 3 years prior respectively. One of the missing high schoolers has no known relative. Yikes. Chiharu is obviously spooked out of her mind, evident by the tight grip she has on my elbow. Yikes. Would you please get a handful? My arm is not for you to squeeze. While the information is unnerving, I try to put a logical spin on it. 3 of them were away from family, which didn't help with the stress and whatever else they were dealing with. All of them had no support. I keep scrolling to see if there's anything else, but reports seem to end there. There are a few articles about wild animal attacks, but considering the town is at the foot of a mountain, it doesn't seem that out of sorts. Lack of information aside, why are some people so hell-bent over the cases having supernatural causes? Probably because they are, and they've been happening before yours two's arrival here back. You don't remember? Huh? Well, there are some urban legends surrounding the town. Remember? Your grandpa used to tell us about the cursed myth of this place. At my blank stare, Chiharu sighs and shakes her head. Well, let's see if I can bring that up. She moves over to the keyboard and types in a few words. The results pop up immediately, at least 5 times on that of the 3 cases. Chiharu clicks on one of the links. Let's see. They say under the local mountain a demon was sealed 1,000 years ago. If we can work out the year that this game is in, we could probably do like a timeline lapse of all the different events that occurred here, and also their different branching paths. I lean forward, scanning through the lines. 1,000 years ago, a demon was sealed under the mountains by the Shinto god. I'm not going to try and pronounce that. Okami. As time passed, the demon watched with envy and hatred as people built a village around its prison, its name and terror forgotten. That envy and hatred seeped through the bars of its prisons and manifested in the form of a curse. That curse would latch onto human hosts, driving them to commit atrocities, to disrupt peace, and sow the seeds of fear into people's minds. For decades, this curse wreaked havoc across town. Many were driven away, some perished, for once prosperous ground was becoming barren, until a travelling priest passed by. He pitied the people and decided to help them rid of this curse. That priest must have been one of the ancestors of Emery's and Shizuyo's. Many battles took place as a priest tracked down the cursed hosts, and yet kill after kill he was disheartened to find as the hosts died, the curse would simply move on to another. The curse could not be eliminated, it could only be contained and neutralized. That's what Emery said to us in her route. at the restaurant, or cafe I mean. So we found out about this information in Chiharu's route way earlier than what we normally would get out of Emery's route, because half of her route is just simply opening up to her, and her opening up to us. And so the priest decided to stay. Upon the demon's prison, he built a shrine to keep watch over people, over the curse, and to this day his descendants, the Onishi, are still vigilant. Except one of them. As time passed, they found a way to contain the curse. To prevent it from jumping into a human host, it is their life oath to be its warden, to make sure it cannot harm another soul. And that's the legend of the Onishi and the Nameless Curse. I remember this. Not in this much detail though, but about the gist of it. My grandpa used to tell us this story, namely to get Chiharu to stop crying and behave. I was never a fan of far-fetched fairy tales when I was a kid, often getting bored as my grandpa droned on about them. I love my grandpa's stories. It was entertaining when I was much younger, but it was difficult to scare a hard-headed, distracted 8-year-old boy who just wanted to play catch. Is that a way of describing yourself? Come on, it's just an old folk tale. Are you sure about that one? You're not really scared of some fairy tales, are you? I mean, it's a local legend for a reason, right? There are people who really believe them. Otherwise, we wouldn't have been having this club, right? Besides, the Onishi is real. Who's to say the myth isn't real either? Yeah, but you really don't believe in all that magic stuff, right? It could easily be a family story passed down for generations, to a point of it turning into a myth. Well, I do believe in some things. Anything is possible, as they say. Am I right, Shizuyo? While the legend is indeed a bit creepy, I don't think it has anything to do with the cases. Scrolling down the side, it shows that they have an annual summer festival to celebrate the town's history, with local merchant booths, games and plays amongst other standard stuff. We should really go there sometime in the future. Or we used to, at least. The site hasn't been updated for years, with the last festival announcement dated back 8 years ago. Still, while it's been an interesting read, we haven't really found anything noteworthy to report back to the club other than the victims list, which I'm sure they are already familiar with. You may never know. It's been a year, so I don't think visiting the murder sites would be helpful anymore. Murder sites? But we can always visit their graves. I mean, it would be useful for Emery, but only Emery, if you know what I mean. But we can always visit their graves. Maybe the tombstones or some kind of markings can give us some kind of clues. Graves? Tombstones? Yeah, let's go, Chiharu. No. Come on, Chiharu. It's going to be fun. It will be fun. We only need to take one bus from Chiharu's house. She shivers the whole way, hands clutching at the strap of her purse so tightly. I'm afraid it might break. Needless to say, she is spooked out of her mind. While I feel sorry for her, I can't resist but tease Chiharu a little. What are you so scared of? They're just dead people. That's what I'm scared of. Great, the combination of us saying that and the thing that we said the other day. She thinks that the dead will just turn undead and become zombies and ghouls and ghosts and stuff like that, and they'll rip her apart slowly, limb by limb, hair by hair, amongst other things. Why? You think they'll jump out of their coffins and do a little zombie dance? Oh, thank you, Fortnite. I don't actually play Fortnite, but a lot of dances do happen in that game. I jerk around, poorly imitating a risen corpse, but it's enough to make Chiharu yelp and slap my arm away. Slap. That's not funny. Quit it. I chuckle, but stop her teary glare. Clear my throat and scratch the back of my head sheepishly. Come on. We're going in there in broad daylight. If there's anything you can learn from those campy horror movies, is that bad things only happen at night. You're still dragging me to a grave. We're not dragging you. I mean, we didn't hold you up close, neck tight, and ready to kill you like, I don't know, Shizuyo did in another timeline. It's not like we're gonna be dead anytime soon. How wrong your words are, for goodness sakes. How wrong those words are. In chapter 3, there will be nothing but your demise waiting for you. And in one route for a pair of you. Where's your bravery? I want to be brave at home with my teddy bear. You know what, Chiharu? I like that idea as well. Being at home with a teddy bear, presumably in a bedroom, cuddle up, share some stories. Well, not remorse, but rekindle ourselves of our pasts. And here we are, at the gravesite. Here lies near. I can't get over that the developer herself has put herself on a tombstone. Here lies me, after all my hard work. I have to laugh at that, earning myself another slap to the arm. Aside from some more minor protests, we arrive at a graveyard without a hitch. Once we leave a bus though, Chiharu forgoes her own embarrassment and grip my arm so tightly it might be dead for real. Chiharu, if you're not careful, I might become one of the undead. Wait, sorry, did I say undead? I mean dead. Why did I let you do this? We didn't do this to you. You decided to follow us. Because you signed us up for the club. Satisfied that she has now stopped complaining and making my arm purple, I venture forward and push the iron gates open. I like the colour purple, but just not on my skin. No thanks. I think any other colour that would be worse is blue. It's pretty standard. Situated towards the outskirts of the town, rows and rows of grey stones lay neatly, almost sparkling under the sun, with a few family shrines and tombs scattering around. Well, at least the upkeep here is good. Pulling out the list of victims, I check the plaque by the gate. What? They said they found 6 bodies, right? Well, there are only 5 buried here, and one of them is one of the reported missing people. Eek! She's jumpy. Yeah, this is too creepy, I'm out. I grab her by the arm before she can escape. Taking a picture of the plaque, I promptly drag Chiharu into the cemetery ground. Let's go. Why? Aww. It's both sad and cute at the same time, but more sad. Thank you. You don't need to allow me to do editing work. Thank you very much, because now we zoomed in. I can't read what the smaller writing says, but here lies near. Fresh in battle? Something. Despite my enthusiasm, however, we can't seem to find anything enlightening. All the markings on the graves are very standard. Names, dates, general, here lies or in memories of lines. 4 out of 5 completely lack any kind of flowers or memorabilia, and one of them is an empty grave. It's like nobody cares at all. That's really sad. I was scared before, but this is just sad. Yeah. Aww. Chiharu snuffles quietly. Rummaging her purse, she pulled out a few wrapped candles and leaves one at each of the victims' graves. It's not much, but I hope wherever they are, they can be at peace now. Chiharu. Clasping her hands together, Chiharu closes her eyes, praying. I wait until she is done, then escort her back outside. Even my more mischievous side can't find anything to joke about. Not too sure at all. Were they bad people? Makes you wonder what kind of people they were, huh? But nobody deserves this. Nobody deserves to die and just be forgotten. That's the sad reality, unfortunate, with people with no relatives, is that they've become lost to time. Nobody remembers them. You're right. Yeah. Nobody deserves to die like this. Before we leave, I decide to visit my grandpa's grave. We stand with our heads bowed, offering a silent prayer. If Grandpa was here, he would probably scold us for being childish. He was never a fan of meddling with other people's issues, preferring to keep to himself most of the time. Those cat socks are just too cute, I'm sorry. I guess we are a bit silly after all, chasing after something so disturbing. I admit, I did let my curiosity get the better of me, but standing here with Chiharu has really hit me like a brick wall. Mood, oh my gosh, mood fallen. For goodness sakes, look at those eyes. Those are the eyes of a killer. Mood fallen, our bus ride is completely silent. It's clear that Chiharu is depressed. I was about to say displeased. And I can't help but feel guilty for that. She didn't want to come here. I should have just let her go. The trip has been fruitless, and we come out with sunken spirits. Chiharu's right. This is sad. You'd think after such traumatic events, more people would have cared about those who died, but no. One doesn't even have a grave, and one was given up on. It makes me wonder, what were those people like when they were alive? Why did these victims in particular not have any family or relatives that cared? Is this why they were targeted? Because whoever the culprit was, they knew people wouldn't care enough to push the investigation. Disturbed by my own questions, I glance at Chiharu. No, bringing this up to her wouldn't be a good idea. It would only upset her more, and we still wouldn't have any answer. But maybe someone at a club can answer these questions. I'm sorry. Huh? What are you sorry for? For being in space. I really wasn't any help, was I? Well, to be honest, on that front, I wasn't doing anything helpful either. There just aren't any helpful public sources for this kind of stuff. As if someone is trying to hide something. The more I think about it, the more I feel like Ember is making a plausible point. What if it really was crime related, and because of that everything was swept under the rug? That's a phrase we've heard before, am I right? Swept under the rug. Emery's good end. Swept under the rug kind of thing. Do you think they might have some sort of information at the shrine? Or just some information at the shrine? Surprised by Chiharu's sudden question, I blink. Maybe Emery and Shizuyo would know. But if they do, wouldn't they have spoken about it? Yeah, you're right. And Emery doesn't seem to care at all about the club, so I don't think we'll be able to get anything out of her. Shizuyo might be a bit more open. Maybe? Yeah, let's visit the shrine. As we fall into a more regular rhythm at school, Chiharu and I often lunch together, sometimes joined by Ember or Shizuyo, the latter more so than the former. Wow, Shizuyo. But Shizuyo tends to have a lot of groups she hangs out with, so it's mostly just me and Chiharu, and maybe a few lower classmen that need a place to sit. It works out, since it gets us more acquainted to the school's community. Plus, I have found out Chiharu seems oddly fascinated with gossip despite her shyness. I guess being so quiet makes her a good listener. Yeah. Usually I'm not the type to care much about those things. What I hear at the table today almost makes me drop my sandwich. Did you hear about the student in class 2B? Ah, Samari. Suzuki Mamura, right? Didn't he just got into an automobile accident or something? Yeah, died on impact, they said. Did he? But he's a creep. Oh, goodness sakes. That's mean. That is indeed. And notice how Samari has a voice actress. I heard he was stalking Kyoko in our class. Boys are about as scummy, you know. Creepy. Very horrifying. But still not deserving of death. Tuning out the rest of their jeering, I give Chiharu a horrified look. Hers mirror mine. Quickly leave the 3 chattering girls behind. As soon as we're out of earshot, Chiharu exclaims, "That's horrible." Yeah, I get it. That guy might not be the best, but nobody deserves to suffer and then talked about like that. Indeed. Yeah. Safe to say we have both lost our appetite. Well, I guess lunch is off the chart now. Some of the girls here seem so mean-spirited, no? Well, I guess you get that kind of group everywhere you go. Touchy. At least those at the club aren't catty. Yeah, they are a bit eccentric, but they're not mean girls for sure. I can see eccentric, yeah. Hell, that club in general is eccentric. I wonder why Shizuyo joined, to be honest. Oh, how come? Well, she kinda is the it girl. You know, pretty, popular, good grades. A possessive demon inside of her. Those kind of things. She could have joined any club, really. But why did she join our club? Wonder why. Well, those girls always have had their own weird obsession, right? Some hidden interests that are different from the others. Yes. For example, going out and doing these killing sprees. I guess, I mean, nobody's perfect, right? Not to say Shizuyo isn't perfect or anything. Does Shizuyo have a hidden admirer? Chuckling at her blushing face, I can't help but tease Chiharu a little. You think Shizuyo is perfect? Covering her face with both her hands, Chiharu mumbles unintelligibly. What was that? Gosh, you're terrible. Laughing at outbursts, we resume our strides. Feeling a little more perked up, I decide to change the topic. What do you think about the others? Well, I don't know about Emery, but I don't think anyone really knows what to say about her. I mean, she's very well respected, don't get me wrong, but like, she doesn't get involved. You get what I mean? Yeah, I can definitely see that. Ember, on the other hand, has a bunch of rumours about her. Like, does she? Not a lot of people like her. Maybe because she comes off a bit strong? Maybe. Lots of people say she's a troublemaker too, like getting into fights and stuff. She's a fighter for the greater good. And killing has no place in the greater good. That makes sense. No wonder she has a hard time recruiting. The club's weirdness aside, her reputation and personality might have waned people off. Before we can continue, the bell rings. I'll see you at the club later. Later, alligator. Now that's just mean. I'm a bit taken aback by the exclamation when I tell Chiharu about the rumours. They don't even take the time to know her. How can they judge her like that? It's just the things I've heard, honestly. I know, but that's still mean. Chiharu can be quite stubborn when it comes to people. She firmly believes that everyone has good in them. And I think that is a trait that every single person in this world needs to account for. That every single person, no matter how inherently evil you think they are, has some good in them. Because once upon a time, those who are inherently evil must have been good. Unless they were born inherently evil. Not too sure about that one, but every single person has good in them. No matter what other people do or say. Bless her heart. After hearing what I had to say, she adamantly vows to spend more time with Ember and prove that everyone else is wrong at our club's president. About our club's president, it's a good thing we ended up in the same class along with Emery. On the other hand, while I've been able to gather a lot of intel about my club mates, there hasn't been much info about the cases at all. I thought since a few of the victims were from the school, I could perhaps get some information out of the students. But nobody wants to talk about it. Some don't even recognize their names. I have a bit of luck regarding the teachers though. when I decided to bring it up to Samari from Class 9B when I'm helping out one day. Mr. Sugiyama. I remember him, but he really wasn't a teacher. Oh, what was he? More like a hall monitor. He was really awful though, scolding people for the tiniest reasons. He reduced one of my friends to tears just because her tie looks wrong. Oh well, that's really harsh. Do you know what happened to him? Not really. Not that anyone cares. Everyone was relieved when he was gone. Samari, don't talk like that, okay? That's not like you. That's a bit morbid. I am told the other faculty staff, Mrs. Okuni, was a bit of a nightmare too. Yeah, she was the one mentioned by Amber who had a relationship with the principal. And at the time of that, she was only a university student. She had a tendency to lash out at students for the smallest reasons, gave out unjust punishments, and, as rumor has it, accepted bribes to give certain students higher grades in the book. Yep, because of money. There seems to be a pattern forming here, for people who were victims or had something bad or morally questionable. Makes me wonder if the culprit is one of them. Those serial killers. Think of it, they are some kind of vedagant acting out of for people's reasons, interests. I wonder how much of those rumors are true, and how much of it is just ill-spoken words. Brings a chill down my spine. Would we really be safe in this environment? Is the culprit done with their streak, or are they still out there, lurking? It makes me wonder about my friends, my clubmates, Amber in particular. And despite my enthusiasm about digging up information, the deadline for changing clubs nags at the back of my head. It isn't just all the dead people, or like maybe that's about 80% of the reason why, but also the animosity between Amber and Emery, not to mention Emery's implications about the deaths prior to the cases. Like everything else, I did bring up the issues with the club's Chiharu, and Chiharu being Chiharu feels terrible about it but admits she also thinks the same. I do like the others, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if I can hang around. Why don't you just go to another club then? I thought about it, but I really feel bad. I do like Ember and Emery. I mean, Ember and Shizuyo, even Emery, and Ember would be really mad if I leave. Yeah, but if it makes you uncomfortable, then you shouldn't force yourself. But Ember... Well, if Ember really is your friend, then she wouldn't be angry at you for wanting to leave. And if she gets angry, then she wouldn't be that good of a friend now, would she? But what about you? What about me? Don't you want to leave too? Yeah, but I don't know if there is any other club I'd want to participate in. I'd rather not be a part of any club at all. But to be honest, any other club would probably be much safer than this one. You're still as antisocial as ever. Yeah. How about you? Are you interested in any other clubs? Oh, I actually have been looking at the cooking club. Oh yeah? That's pretty predictable. Chiharu has always been rather keen on cooking things, ever since we were children. Even though some of her experiments turned out disasters, she has never lost her enthusiasm in culinary arts, evident by her insistence of making lunch for both of us from time to time. Of course, we'll join her. Oh man, I knew you would pick cooking club. Oh, is something wrong? Well, I did say I'll stick with you, right? No matter what club you choose. Flare, you remember? Of course I do. We are friends. So I mean, what are friends for, am I right? But thank you. Besides, if we both get in there, it means I'll get all the free food available. Flare, you're so predictable. You know me and my appetite. With how little I slept last night, I was surprised that I managed to remember this is Chiharu's tryout day at the cooking club. Chiharu told me that apparently they have so many applicants that they have to limit the number of members. Each applicant is to bring a dish they have prepared at home to their club room today to lunch for a taste test. Obviously I'll be showing up empty-handed since I'm garbage with cooking, but Chiharu promises that there will be other tryouts, and she can help me later if she does get into the club. So, what did you bring? I made a 3-layered chocolate cake with buttercream icing. Well, can I see? Yep. Carefully she opens the paper box they've just been carrying. Inside lies a lovely cake covered in white frosting, with clusters of pastel pink roses piped to the top, on top. Man, Chiharu, this looks professional. Thanks. Can I have a taste? No. Yeah, exactly. You ruined the presentation. You can have a taste when the judging process is over. Ugh, if there's anything left of that. How'd you make it anyway? Don't be so dramatic. I made it with this recipes I found online. It uses stout to aerate the butter. Can you believe it? And thus Chiharu goes on with her descriptions of the cake as if it was her firstborn child. I make sure to nod and make appreciative noises at the appropriate moments. Though I don't understand half the terms she's using, regardless, it's nice to see Chiharu being her usually bubbly self. Bubbly. We arrive promptly at the cooking club's room. Since I'm not there to try out, I just stand inside the door, watching the process. True to Chiharu's word, there are a bunch of students lined up for this, though at first glance, even I can tell, if not all, of them didn't bring anything half as nice as what Chiharu did. And I'm not saying that just because I prefer Chiharu's cooking, I'm just saying that because of the presentation, the quality, and everything else, and the taste too. But we know what horrors await this one. Giving her a thumbs up from where I am, my eyes follow the 3 judges, one of whom is from my class actually. Trail down the row of tryouts, scribbling down and giving out comments about the food. They don't seem all that impressed about anything so far. As far as what I can see, they don't give out nice words to anyone either. Word, I inch a bit close towards Chiharu as the student before her matches out of the room with a stormy expression. I hope they won't say anything harsh about Chiharu. Can they really? With how good Chiharu's cake looks? Like a hawk, I watch as the 3 girls stop in front of Chiharu's cake. Admittedly, I feel rather smug when they seem at a loss for words. Chiharu really is in a different league after all. For one I recognise as Jasmine, you're going to be served as a prime example of what it's like to mess with somebody that is affiliated to somebody that has supernatural abilities. You dismembered individual. For one I recognise as Jasmine, dismembered psychologically, gives Chiharu a skeptical glance as she cuts a small slice of a cake. The slice holds with perfectly even chocolatey layers with contrasting white icing between them. However, instead of trying the beautiful piece of pastry like I thought they would, the 3 girls give Chiharu one-overs. Say, are you that rich transfer student? Oh, I'm Chiharu Ishiharu and... Before she could finish, Shiori cuts in. Are you sure you didn't buy this? Pardon? Nah, she probably had a servant or someone make it for her. Yeah, you really think someone like her would be able to make something like this? This is clearly fraud. It's not. I don't. We can't accept something made by someone else. If you're going to cheat, at least make it less obvious. Rich people, I swear. You know what, Nanami? You suck. You don't just be prejudiced to someone just because they come from a rich family. Rich people and their children can have aspirations for cooking as well, you know. This is what we call prejudice at its finest. Chiharu. Unable to just stand there and let those rotten girls bully Chiharu anymore, I step forward. Hey, quit it! Chiharu's not a fraud! How... Aww. It's painful to see her like this. Such a gentle soul. Bursting into a loud wail, Chiharu shoves past me and runs away. No, Chiharu, wait! Not answering me, Chiharu cries even harder and dashes off. Bewildered, I give chase, calling out her name to no avail. Damn it, why is she so fast when she's upset? To my luck, however, the next person Chiharu bumps into is none other than Ember. And Ember definitely doesn't budge, no. You don't just budge a mountain, no, no, no. You're budged by the mountain. Hey, what the... Chiharu, what's wrong? Are you okay? Aww. This isn't even an ending, it's giving me tears. Aww. Well, Chiharu, calm down. Oh dear, what's going on? Great, now we're gathering a spectacle. Shaking her head, Shizuyo just guides Chiharu into an empty classroom and sits her down. Dutifully, I provide Chiharu with some tissues to dry her eyes, but my efforts are in vain, as her tears quickly crumble the paper. Tuh. Though looking grumpy, Emperor gently brushes away the wet smears on Chiharu's face. Aww. Sorry. It's okay, but why are you so upset? Immediately, Chiharu tears up again. The cooking club. They said I'm a fraud. Wait, what? Why? They said because my parents are rich, the food I brought must have been made by a servant or brought. I'd never. Whatever she is going to say is lost in another loud wail. I grit my teeth. How dare they? How dare they make Chiharu cry like this? Jasmine, that is the last time you're going to be able to bully Chiharu for doing that. And you'll see why later on. Even Shizuyo looks upset by this. That's so rude. What gives him the right to say things like that to people? I'll show him. Ember. Before any of us could react, Ember storms off. No doubt to give those pretentious people a piece of her mind. Uh-oh. Flare, take care of Chiharu. I'll go after her. Who knows what she'd do? Yeah. Turning back to her quietly sobbing Chiharu, I kneel down to be on her eye level. Hey now, it's okay. It's not. It is. Ember is right, you know. They are a-holes for talking to you like that. Flare! You shouldn't talk like that. Well, they shouldn't have talked to you like that. Exactly. Chiharu sniffles, but it seems like that would be the last of her tears. After a moment, she finally composes herself a bit. Thanks, Flare. Don't mention it. So, what now? I take a moment to think about her question. It doesn't take a genius to know Chiharu was talking about the whole club changing. I don't think telling Chiharu about my suspicions surrounding my grandpa's passing right now is a good idea. She is already as shaken as she is. As it is. I think I'll stay with the club for now, but that shouldn't stop you from finding another though. I think I'll stick around too. You don't have to stay just because I am, you know. It's not just that. Ember is nothing but nice to me, other than you. I mean, she is the first friend I made here, so yeah. Yeah, I think I'll stay. Giving Chiharu a worried look, I sigh. Honestly, I think Chiharu is only scared of being bullied off every other club right now after one bad experience. Can't blame her though. This incident really leaves a bad taste in my mouth. At least here in the occult club, Chiharu knows everybody is nice to her. Or tolerates her in Ember's case. Alright, but don't push yourself, okay? I'm sure Ember would understand if you want to leave. She even said so herself. Okay, thanks, Flare. Thank you too. Well, we're going to just spend a bit of time looking at this page. I'm just going to summarise that at the moment there really hasn't been any changes to the text of Chiharu's story so far. It's almost like it's the same as it was before, but maybe there could be changes in chapter 2 and 3 when we explore Chiharu's route more. Because even in the Discord it was pointed out that it was... even if it was only Chiharu's route in one ending build, it was still accounted that she was the weakest character out of the four. Even on her own route, she was the weakest character out of the four. Okay, I don't think we need to get any descriptions of what's going to happen next. Since I used up so much time here, we're going to answer. Hello? Ah! Chiharu. So, how's you? I rushed back to school as fast as I could. My phone doesn't seem to work. I tried to call the police, ambulance, even Ember. But all I got back was static. The school is closed, but I never slow down. Vaulting straight over the gate as I dashed down the hall until I reached the storage room. I yanked the door open and... Chiharu! And we took too long. The mechanics of this is how fast you can get through from that stage where we're like in the classroom, and then we get to Shizuyo, and then we get to Shizuyo, Ember, and Emery, and stuff like that. I dropped to my knees. The bile that I've been keeping down overflows, and I vomit at the unfolded scene. And speaking of this scene, there may be an update in the future later this year where we would be getting storyline if, and let's say if, we fail to save Chiharu in this case. But yes, she is completely dismembered here. On the cold dusty floor is Chiharu's mangled body. Eyes wide open, her face is contorted in pain, her entrails spill over her uniform, mangled as if attacked by a wild animal. Oh god, Chiharu! I slump beside her remains. The smell of death penetrates my senses, and now my eyes blur until there is only redness in my sight. I reach out, heedless of the wet, sticky blood staining my hand. Her body is still warm. I shake her shoulder, stomach churning at how limp her muscles are. No, Chiharu. Why did this have to happen? Chiharu, wake up. Come on. Wake up. Ember said she was going to bring you food. Chiharu, we still have that trip. Wake up, Chiharu, please. Unfortunately, you could have... You know, game, you don't have to remind me of that, okay? I know. I've been through this game more than enough times to know that. But of course, that's for the new player. But also for anyone like me who is talking about this game while reading the text every single time, every single line, because we love story hunting, we would always get this the first time around. Because, well, there's no such thing as getting through this stage without using the skip function. Skip through this. Gonna be as fast as the flash answer, and then we made it in time because we're not slumped on our feet and there's no red flash on the screen. Kneeling on the floor was a terrified Chiharu. Her hair is tossed and her knuckles bruised. She must have tried to escape through by punching the door. Chiharu! Flare! Thank God! Boundaries thrown over windows. I hug her, simply glad that she is in one piece. Chiharu, what happened? You scared the living hell out of me. I don't know. Oh God, I don't know, Flare. I heard someone calling for help, and I came to help. When I went inside, when I went inside, the door just slammed shut. I was screaming and banging on the door, but nobody came. Chiharu breaks down into hysterical sobs. I hug her close. Her story deeply disturbs me, and I don't want to be in this room any longer, and I'm sure Chiharu feels the same. On our way back, I got a glimpse of the door handle on the inside. It looks melted, mangled beyond recognition. Swallowing. I hurry my steps. Tomorrow I'll let someone know about this. Right now I just want to get out of here with Chiharu. Get the hell out of here. Chapter 2. I think this part of the story is just very jumpy and just really, really related towards what we just witnessed. So I don't think there is anything that we can unearth in this part of the game with Chiharu. We told you that would be the last time you could bully Chiharu Jasmine. Let's go on a vacation. Let's invite the occult club. Do nothing? To my bewilderment and Grimly's too apparently, Chiharu slaps him with dull thwack. He yells funny backing away. Hey, watch it! I told you to stop! Her voice is shaking, but there's an underlying steel to it that's unfamiliar to my ears. I'm flattered that you think of me that way, but I can't accept your feelings. What the hell are you babbling about? I like someone else, and I'd appreciate it if you don't bother me again. Wow, since when did Chiharu learn to be so assertive? I can't help but be rather impressed. Way to go, Chiharu. Somewhere at the back of us, there is a giddy Shizuyo watching us. For a while the boy just stands there, huffing. Not wanting to embarrass Chiharu more than she already is. This isn't over yet, and stomps away. A rush of breath escapes Chiharu and she slides to the floor. Alarmed, I ran out of my hiding spot. Chiharu, are you okay? Squeaks like a dog toy again. Flare, I'm alright. What are you doing here? I can't just tell I've been listening in. She'd die of embarrassment. But that is just so tempting. I'm just on my way out. Everything okay? Why are you on the floor? As I thought, Chiharu seems relieved, though her cheeks are still a brilliant red. I'm okay. Just a bit out of breath, that's all. I offer her a hand to help her up. Even though the boy is gone, Chiharu still trembles a bit. Hey Chiharu, do you have anything planned for the weekend? No, why? Do you want to go to the mall on Saturday? Huh? Go to the mall? Decide to tease her a bit to lighten the mood. I wink. Yeah, like a date. Chiharu stops to take several deep breaths before nodding vehemently. I laugh easy at her cute antics. Alright, let's meet up at 9. See ya. It makes me want to smile. It makes me want to tease her. Look at you, Chiharu, all grown up, eh? Huh? I guess I'm just too used to seeing you in uniforms and all the cutesy colourful stuff you used to wear when we were kids. Aw, you're making fun of me, aren't you? No, I'd never. Chiharu smacks my shoulder, her face all red. You're so embarrassing. I sober up a little and grin at a still flushed Chiharu. So what would you like to do? Got breakfast yet? No, how about you? Chiharu's eyes sparkle and I shake my head. How about we browse around for a bit, then have brunch? Oh, that does sound good. Still nothing so far. As I drag myself over the school's threshold, I spot Chiharu round in the corner. Catching up, I put a hand on her slumped shoulder. Hey, you okay? Flare! I'm okay. We fall into steps. A companionable silence blankets us. Chiharu seems to have a lot on her mind, and I know interrupting her train of thought right now would only make her flustered. So I wait patiently for her to speak first, and that includes accompanying Chiharu home. Well, that would be an added bonus. Flare? Yeah? Do you still think it's a good idea to have everyone together for vacation? Absolutely! I blink in surprise, not expecting this conversation to pop up. Then again, after what happened in our last club meeting. Do you still want everyone to get together for a vacation? I do. I think when the club business is involved, everyone gets so stressed out. If that stress goes away, maybe they can finally get along. I don't think there's anything that can make Ember and Emery get along. No. But I don't want to disappoint Chiharu any further. She's already upset as it is, and Chiharu doesn't deal well with stress. Do you think the vacation would help? I hope, I don't want my friends to fight like this. And Emery? She's always so lonely, even when she's surrounded by people. people notice her, but they never ask her how she is, if she's doing okay. I don't know, Flare. Watching her makes me feel really sad. Really sad. Chiharu. I never view Emery that way. She's always so sure of herself, so sure of the place she has in the world, but Chiharu doesn't see people the way I do. She is a lot more sensitive to emotions and interactions. That comes from being a good listener and not talking much. Sometimes I wonder if it's a blessing or don't say that word, curse. If you think this would help everyone to bridge, then I trust your judgment. Ah, thank you, Flare. That means a lot to me coming from you. The stars in her eyes colour my cheeks. I can't bring myself to look away, even when I know I have a dopey grin splattered across my face. Anytime. The silence this time is a bit more awkward, but at the same time feels more intimate somehow. I feel Chiharu's arm brush against mine occasionally as we walk, but while I'm perfectly content to stay like this, I can sense a touch of discomfort still rolling off of Chiharu. She truly is a tender and pure creature, always put the needs of others and well-beings of others before her own. So don't stress yourself too much, okay, Chiharu? I'll try to. I just don't like animosity, and it only seems to get worse with time. She really can't get her mind off that topic, huh? I'm sure it's only because there haven't been any leads found in so long. I think so too. The club is really important to Ember, and Emery is incredibly serious about her duties, and now that Emery did that, yeah, it's difficult for them not to clash heads, especially when their views are so different. It doesn't help that Shizuyo is caught in the middle. Oh? Shizuyo's opinion seems to favour Ember's, but she obviously respects Emery, so she doesn't outright disagree with her sister. It just puts Shizuyo in a difficult position. It must suck. Yeah. That brings up the whole worries about Shizuyo. What happened to her after leaving with that guy? I wasn't able to reach her at all, and she messed our gaming sessions. Possession. Though she didn't really miss much regarding the latter. Ember was in a foul mood all night and retired way earlier than usual. I didn't have much in me to stick around after that. Realising I've been quiet for too long, I clear my throat awkwardly. You want to have lunch together today? Oh, yeah, I have cleaning duties today, so meet me at my class. Sure. Want me to bring anything? It's alright, I've made lunch for both of us today. I even baked some muffins. Muffins? Sign me the heck up! Aw, you're really terrible with this, you know. I laugh at her fumble shove. Glad that I was able to tease back some colour to her cheeks. Parting at the bells, I feel considerably lighter. Regardless of what happens, it's relieving to know what I have between me and Chiharu will never change. Are you sure about that? We're going to leave things off here, folks, and we're going to get to Chiharu's bad end and good end in the next time around. As far as my memories tell me, there hasn't really been any changes when it comes to the dialogue, which is quite upsetting, because we would really love to learn more about Chiharu and her past, but fortunately that may not be the case for now. But regardless, she is still a lovely character, but we'd just like to learn a bit more about the characters in this game, especially when they're the main characters. But thank you all so much for watching, guys, and see you all in the next time of Missing Time. Hopefully it will be the last episode before we try and encounter Shizuyo's good end. Have a good day and take care of yourselves.